What is up, Game Brigade friends? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brian, and today we're going to be doing the late pledge deep dive for all of the games that launched for their late pledge campaigns in the month of July. This has been a new series that we've been doing for the last few months, and I hope you guys enjoy the series. As we go through each of the campaigns that have launched. Disclaimer, I do my best to try to find all the games campaigns that have launched up to the point of this recording, but sometimes I miss games that either launch after this recording or maybe I just couldn't find their information for this video. I will do my best to include those in the description down below if I miss anything for this filming. So without that, okay, so we're going to start on Leviathan Wilds, and I need to make sure I go quickly on this video because it is my birthday officially at the time of this filming. It's 2 in the morning, and I definitely need to get this video done and finished so that I can go to bed because my wife is taking me to see Mission Impossible in the morning. So let's start with Leviathan Wilds by Moon Crab Games. This had 4,273 backers. It is 1 to 4 players and plays in about 60 minutes. And this is planning on shipping in February of 2024. So, what is Leviathan Wilds? This is a solo and co-op boss battling board game about climbing and mounting and toppling and jumping all over these massive Leviathan creatures. It uses this unique spiral-bound book to represent the different types of creatures that you're going to be traversing. And the goal of the game is players are going to be building their deck. It's just so handy to have these great gifts as I'm literally going through the description. The goal of the game is to build these decks. You're going to select a character as well as a class. You're going to shuffle those together to form your unique deck. And then you're going to use that deck to move along the Leviathan, jumping along different paths and trajectories to eventually get to these crystals so you can heal the Leviathan. All the while you are going to be trying to dodge the attacks from the Leviathan who's trying to damage you. It's a simple, pretty interesting little simple game. Definitely not something that I'm personally looking for in terms of my collection, but I could see this being a one that'd be fun for lighter or medium weight style collections or games. So this is Leviathan Wilds by Moon Crab Games on GameFound. Next, we've got They Live, a hidden rolled card game based on the movie by John Carpenter from the 1980s. This movie has that famous line, it depends on how famous, where he's like, I came here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum. Something like that. It's been a long time since I believe I've seen this movie. I mean, I was like 5 years old maybe when I saw this. So I don't remember much of this movie. But effectively in this game, you are going to be playing a hidden role card game where one player is going to be one of the aliens and the other players are going to be the humans as they try to build their deck and identify eventually who the enemy is, while the enemy player is going to try to either gain control of the city or eliminate their opponents from the game. So there is player elimination with that. I think it looks interesting. It's fairly reasonably priced. Let's see what they have. This version. This one I was like fairly reasonably priced, 50 euros. Or 50 pounds. The actual game, if you're looking for just the game, is this one, Save the City and Slave the City. It's just a standard card game. Will get you everything you need to play the game. They do have this version, which is their featured version, but this one includes the sunglasses, which are part of the movie's lore. So if you're looking for some cool sunglasses that are part of the movie, this is something that you could pick up for it. That's a little bit of like, tchotchkes kind of thing, but I think it's kind of cool. There's a lot of theme and stuff brought into this game, but I'm wondering if it's going to be for people who are like fans of the John Carpenter series and those types of movies. I don't know. I'm definitely skipping on this one, but here you go. The next one is Threads of Fate. Now, they actually list this as a pre-order for $92, and this is part of those like riddle, sleuthing, unlocking, escape room type games where you are going to be solving different types of riddles and puzzles to uncover whatever the mystery is in this game. This is a game that is one, but you can go up to 4 players if you'd like. They say it takes several hours to play, so 10 hours plus of gameplay. So when you're assuming the value of this game at $92, and you are a person who plays unlock or escape room type games, those are usually one-shot games. They take about 1 to 2 hours at like a $15 to $20 rate. You can kind of assess if this value for this one, which is going to be a little bit higher quality of a system, is worth it for you. The one thing to note, it says requirement: you will need internet connected device and a pencil and paper to take all notes. The internet connected device is something you must be aware of. There are going to be obviously puzzles that are probably going to be requiring the internet to solve. And personally, when I play these games, they are generally for me to disconnect from the social world. I like to interact with these artifacts, which is, it looks like they have plenty of these artifacts, but I don't like having to require me to use internet. Maybe I might be in a location where I play these games where there's no internet. But this is Threads of Fate from Post Curious. It had 2,408 backers, so that's pretty solid numbers there. The next game, I will try my best to pronounce this. Nekojima, I believe is how it's pronounced, by Unfriendly Games. 1 to 5 players. Plays about 20 minutes. And disclaimer, researching this video, I backed this freaking game. It looks so stinking cute. We're going to put this on and hit pause. So effectively what you're going to be doing is you're going to be building these power cables using whatever dice you roll will tell you the districts of the city you need to build them in. And you need to place these power lines into the city without having your wires touch each other. If you draw a black cube from the bag, you must hang a kitty onto the wires, and it just seems so incredibly cute and unique. And I don't have many dexterity games in my collection. I think my daughter will love this, so I picked it up myself personally after watching this video. Looking at the pledge levels, you have the $45 pledge level. This is the standard one. It is more expensive than the Kickstarter version, which is a little bit of a bummer, but that is something that is common with late pledges, so be aware of that. And this gets you the core game plus all the stretch goals. They do have this collector's pledge, which I personally did not back, but it comes with the wooden box, if you're looking for a wooden box for the collectors, as well as the Kickstarter exclusive expansion. It should be the collector's pledge exclusive expansion, which has this little red structure. I don't know what the pronunciation of that structure is, and the Tory expansion. So that is exclusive solely to the collector's pledge, which is a little bit of a bummer. When I was checking out the add-ons, there weren't any, so you can't just add it to your pledge and get that item. You would have to back the collector's pledge, and at double the price, it didn't seem like a valuable enough purchase for me otherwise. But I do think this game looks really cool, so I backed it. This is Nekojima by Unfriendly Games. All right, I should not have closed that window. I need that window open for the video. Okay, here we go. Next one, Monsters of Loch Lomond, something like that, by Robin Stokel. This is 2 to 6 players, plays in about 30 minutes. This one is a card game where you are trying to become the strongest Scottish clan. Effectively, what you're going to do is you're going to get 4 cards drawn to you at the beginning of the game. You're going to look at the 2 bottom cards. That means the cards closest to you. If you're going to do in a 2x2 stack, the 2 closest to you. Remember what those cards are. And then you're going to be drawing cards, trying to swap cards that have a high value from them to remove them from your clan. And the goal of this game is to have the lowest amount of points in your clan to win the game when all of the victory tokens have been played. There will be monsters that are going to be drawn in the deck, and they have a higher value, so you need to make sure you get those out immediately. And there is a way to send those to your opponents as well, to kind of screw with them and mess with your opponents. So that there's a little bit of take that in this game as well. But that is Monsters of Loch Lomond, available on their own website. The next one that we have here is Solar Titans. Now this one has a really cute, unique selling feature. Now I don't know if it's enough for me to actually buy it, but I think it's super cute and unique, and I would play it. And this is a game from Sunny Side Up Games, 1 to 4 players, plays in about 30 to 60 minutes. But this is a deck building tableau game. So think of your standard deck building game. You're going to have your hand of cards. You're going to be buying cards from the public auction row. So you're going to be picking those up, putting them in your discard. But what's unique about this game is when you play your cards, you're going to be playing them into your tableau. But what you're going to be doing is you're going to be building out your capital ship, or your ship, putting those cards as their upgrades into different locations. So if you can see here on the middle of the screen, they have 2 different ships, and so you're going to be placing those cards as upgrades. And then during some sort of attack action, you're going to attack your opponent's ship, knocking off their upgrades and eventually damaging their ship till you get to their key section. It's like their most valuable section of the ship. I think that's super cute and unique. I like the idea. I've got a lot of deck building games that I've been adding to my collection as of late, so it's not something I'm necessarily needing in my collection right now, but I think it's something that would be worth trying at a convention or trying if someone had it at a store. I would love to play this game. Solar Titans by Sunny Side Up Games. Next, we have the Pestlight Pledge by Arcana Games. 2 to 5 players, 3,616 people backed this game. In Australian dollars as well. And this is a competitive Euro game. It features a pretty cool, I wish I had some art to show you. I really should bring up the actual Kickstarter page sometimes to show you the game. But this has a really cool, unique action selection grid where you'll be getting 2 actions. So imagine a standard grid with rows and columns, but wherever you place your worker, it's going to do the row and column based on your action. So there's going to be some unique play with that. And there's some strategy that must be involved. So if you want to get certain types of activities or events or actions, they're going to be done. Now, you also are going to have a competitive a gameplay loop where you're going to be collecting resources to gather the 6 civilians, to cure those civilians so that you can put them to work or put them in your city so they can gather more resources and more things for you, etc. as you gather the most points, a la most Euro games. The game looks pretty good in terms of components and overall build. It has a very massive table presence on the board, so make sure aware you must have a big table to play this game because the player boards are big and the board is big. So that's something to be aware of. And I saw people talking about the rule book being a little bit poorly written. And hopefully they fix that. So just be aware of that. I recommend if you are going to be backing this game on a late pledge, check out the updates on the campaign page, read through them, and make sure you feel comfortable with how the updates are going before you pledge. That way you are making the best backing decision. Okay, we're coming up to the end here. Heroes of the Pacific by Devil Pig Games. This is raised 147,000 euros and has 1,500 backers. This is Heroes of whatever. You got Heroes of Normandy. I think there's Heroes of Russia, I believe, or Shadow, something like that. Now we have Heroes of the Pacific. So this will be taking place in the Pacific campaign of World War II from the Japanese Imperial Army and the United States Navy and Marine Corps. I've not played any of the Heroes of games, but effectively these games are strategy war games where you're going to be moving your pieces along the different types of grid systems, either moving to different strategic locations or attacking your opponent's pieces. I hear it's a very, very good war game, and I would love to try it out, but I want to try it out first and see if it's for me. I am a big World War II fan, though. So they have a few different stretch goals if you're looking for it. The Gun Ho pledge here at $43 is the standard core box pledge. You can get the standard game from this one. Then they have the Semper Fi, which is going to include a lot of the campaign expansions for additional gameplay and scenario packs to give you some more predefined scenarios. Now, this game is able to be played a la you just build your scenarios yourself and just make whatever game you want to make out of the scenarios, or out of, you make your own scenarios. But these come up with their own story scenarios for you to play with as well. And then you've got the Bonsai pledge, which is everything from the Semper Fi pledge, but it's also going to be including these storage boxes to make the game much easier to set up and tear down, so the gameplay comes a little quicker. The Bonsai pledge is $161. I always appreciate storage solutions, but you're looking at $95 to $161 for that storage solution. You'll have to make that choice for yourself if that's something you want to invest in for a game like this one. So that is Heroes of the Pacific. Next, we're going to move on to Nestlings. I don't know why I'm at the way down here. Nestlings is a 1 to 4 player game, plays about 30 to 60 minutes from Tangerine Games. And this is a worker placement dice, I guess, bidding system. And there's a standard version and a deluxe version. So effectively, let me see if I can come down to maybe the board. That might have been why I was down here, because I was trying to see something. Don't find it. Can't find it. So, oh, here we go. Okay, so here's the board of the game, and you have these different types of resources based on the biome that they are found in. So different animals are from different food sources are found in different types of biomes. And you are going to be collecting these resources by rolling your dice and assigning those dice to different biomes, and then based on who was first to place their location will get priority. But if you place multiple dice, like this card way up here in the top, you can't see it because my face is covering it. That's unfortunate. Here, this yellow one right here does it. If you place 2 dice, though, or more, you will gain priority. So it's going to go who placed first or who placed the most will gain priority to select the resource that you want. And this is basically a point salad-ish game where you're trying to get as many points as possible by either capitalizing with feeding your younglings early to gain victory points, or trying to score late game points from the social goals or public-private goals, those things and whatnot. So of course the initial reaction to seeing this game is it very much reminds me of Wingspan, but I think there's a lot. But that's because it's birds, right? But I think there's a lot of differences here that might be worth checking out if you are someone who's looking for a similar game that has that kind of nice aesthetic. I think this game probably offers it. The only thing I've heard people questioning is the replayability of this game after, say, 10 sessions. But I'd leave that one up for you to decide if it's for you. So that's it. We got through these games pretty quickly. I'm pretty proud of myself for running through these things and trying to be as objective as I can to tell you guys about the games available on late pledge for the month of July. If you guys appreciate this, please let me know in the comment section down below. I really do appreciate your guys' comments. It helps me know that you guys are appreciating or liking the content. If you want to really support me, leave a thumbs up. Helps with the YouTube algorithm, pushes my content to a wider audience. And if you're new to the show, new to the community, consider subscribing. We'd love to have you. Thanks again. I will talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.